Hi, this is Christina with the Knitting Lodge Resource Center, and we are at the end of our Knit With Me project, the basic rib socks for men, the top-down version. If you're doing the toe-up version, those videos can be found in the blog post underneath the top-down version. So this is for the top-down version. We're finishing up the toe, and as you can see, we finished our toe decreases. We've got a nice toe, and we are ready now to seam up the toe. You can see this here. I'm going to show this to you as best I can. So I'm focusing. Okay. So at this point, we're going to snip our yarn away from the ball that we've been working with, and we want to leave about an 18-inch tail, and you can just measure 6 inches roughly 3 times. That's fine. And I just do that by wrapping it back and forth like so, grabbing the scissors and snip it. You want to leave yourself enough to weave it. You'll need a darning needle. So I've got mine ready here, and I'm just going to seam my yarn through here. Now, I was not raised a seamstress, so if you've got better techniques for threading a needle, I would love to learn them. That's fine. Anyway, I'm just going to sew that on there sort of tight. So now that's ready, but we've got to prepare our needles as well. So I'm going to, I've got my needles here. I've got needle 1, needle 2, needle 3 that we've been working with, and I am down to, if you're doing the smaller version, the 72 stitch cast on, you should have gone down to 4, 8, and 4. I am doing the larger version, the 80 stitch cast on, so I've got 5, 10, and 5. And I'm going to go ahead and take needle 3, not using my spare needle, but knit right across needle 1. So that takes me down to 2 needles. So let me go ahead and just knit those last 5 stitches. Oops. There. So I'm going to clean that one up a bit. I only make mistakes when I'm recording a video. That's not necessarily true. Okay. So, okay, that one was fine, and the yarn's just got a little bulk to it there. Okay. You'll find that every once in a while in a ball of yarn, there's just a little snag. Okay, so there I've got those. Now you want to turn those so they're facing to the right, and you can work with them. And you've got your yarn in the darning needle, and you're going to want to keep that underneath right here. So pull that down, and from the bottom, on our front needle, the needle facing us, so the working yarn is coming from the back, the needle facing us is in front. We're going to knit that first stitch. Or I'm sorry, not knit it. Put the needle through it as if to knit it, okay? And pull that yarn right through there from the back to the front, okay? And then that stitch is going to come right off the needle, like so, okay? We're also staying on the front needle. We're going to put our needle through the second stitch as if to purl. So to the left, from right to left there, leaving it on the needle. We don't want to pull this one off. Okay, and then underneath, we're going to go to the back needle. Turn this so you can see it. And this time, the first stitch will be as if to purl. So slide your yarn through there, pull it through, and slide the first stitch off the needle. There you go. The second stitch will be as if to knit, and you will leave this one on the needle. Now go ahead and knit with me. We're going to go ahead and work across these final stitches. So the second stitch of each section there stayed on the needle. The first stitches were slipped off. So again, back to the front needle, keeping your yarn underneath. The first stitch is if to knit. Go ahead and knit with me now. And that one I was if to knit and slide it off the needle. This makes for a seamless toe. So the stitches connect as if they were knit right around the toe. It's a phenomenon that I can't quite explain. Okay, so the second stitch then was as if to purl, and we leave that on, moving around underneath to the back needle. First stitch is if to purl, sliding it off the needle. Second stitch as if to knit, and we leave it on the needle. Developing a little rhythm now. So back underneath to the front, first stitch as if to knit, pulling it off the needle. Second stitch as if to purl, staying underneath, keeping that yarn underneath. It likes to jump over the top. There you go. Leaving that one on the needle. Back to the back needle. Now you can see we're decreasing down. First stitch is if to purl, sliding it off the needle. Second stitch is if to knit, leaving it on the needle. So you keep this rhythm up all the way across. Go ahead and knit with me as we do this. It won't take but a second. So back to the front needle underneath, as if to knit, sliding it off the needle. Just like that. Okay. Oops, didn't come off. Okay. The next stitch is if to purl, leaving it on the needle. And if you want to check yourself to make sure you're standing in line, after you finish the back needle, you can go ahead and just count your stitches on both needles. Make sure you're staying even. There we go. If you find out that you are not staying even, do not try to correct it mid-row. We can make that correction with the final stitch here. I've got 2 strands in there to pull. If your tail gets caught, just go ahead and pull it right out. And now you can see all the things that might go wrong by watching me. So I've still got 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm staying even there. Now, if the phone rings or people come to the door, kids are screaming, just put your earplugs in for a second and get through this Kitchener stitch. You don't want to stop in the middle and try to remember where you're at. Hang on. I'll go ahead and release you for true emergencies. But okay, there's the back needle. Second stitch is if to knit and leaving it on. You getting this rhythm down now? It goes very smooth. You'll love the way it looks. Go ahead and pull it snug in between there, just to keep it nice and tight as you go around. Okay, so I'm leaving just about 4 on this needle now. Going to the back, getting there. To purl, pull it off. Sorry, camera. As if to knit and leave it on. Go ahead and knit with me as this. And please give me your feedback on this Knit With Me program. I think it's been a lot of fun. It is self-paced. You can go through this tutorial whenever you'd like, and I'm always available for questions via Help Out or through the Knitting Lodge Resource Center. And you can get a hold of me right on Google Plus as well. But I would love to hear your feedback. Comments on the blog are always welcome. Others can join in the conversation that way. And we'd love to post your pics. If you send us a pic of your finished project and we use that, we will give you some store credit to use towards future projects. So there's an incentive for you. Our sponsor, Yarn Mountain, for the Knitting Lodge, offers some great perks. So joining the Knitting Lodge is a lot of fun. We have weekly hangouts, virtual knit nights, several a week in different time zones to choose from. They offer free shipping on every order for Knitting Lodge participants, as well as some fun clubs like Sock Club and different knit-along projects and whatnot. So, great sponsor. We are thrilled, and I am very biased in my assessment of that. All right, so oops. As if to purl, slide it off, as if to knit. So I'm down to 2 now. So this will be my last regular repeat of this pattern we're doing. So the first one is if to knit, and I'm going to end up with 2 stitches back on my needles, right? One on the front, one on the back after this. And for those, here, I'll talk through it. Be sure to pull snug so you don't end up with little loops, all right? So these are my last 2 stitches, and these 2 I'm only going to do the front portion of the repeat, okay? So go ahead and pull it off after this one. After you knit through that stitch, you're off the front needle. It leaves you only the back needle. This is dark yarn. I know it's hard to see. Bear with me here. I've got a light over top of it to try to loosen it up. Okay, so that's our last stitch, and we're sliding the needle through as if to purl, pulling that as snug as we can. You've got a little bit of a loop there. Don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how to fix that. Go ahead and pull yourself tight. Now, what do we have? We have a beautiful seamless toe. You don't even see it's there. Okay, can you see that? Nice. If this is your first time doing a Kitchener stitch, don't worry if it's a little lumpy. You can take it out. It's a bit messy. Or one of my preferred methods is to slide your hand inside the sock and turn it inside out at this point. Sorry. I know it's hard to moving a little fast for the camera. And taking your needle, you can, sorry, I should have done that first. Let me back up. Okay, back to the front. Take our needle and take our last loop there. And we're going to pull this through. So just go ahead and poke your needle through to the back right there. And then reach inside. Grab that needle carefully because you don't want to poke yourself in the finger. Grabbing the needle and the tip of the sock, go ahead and pull that wrong side out. So now you've got these on the inside. You can go ahead and pull that string right through the yarn to the back. And from this point, you simply weave in your ends at the top and the bottom of your sock. Any loose things you see, you can go ahead and tidy those up at this point. As you look over your sock, and voila, we are finished with our Knit With Me project. And again, as I said, if you have any questions about what you're doing, see I've got a straggler here to weave in at the top and one at the bottom, go ahead and shoot me a message and I will walk you through it. You can